When some of us hear about studying abroad, we are just excited. We don't take time to just carry out research, to have a plan, to know what happens after studies. Now, I think this video is very necessary because I've lived in Belgium for 2 years and I'm an international student. When I was coming, I'm one of those people that just had the mindset that once you reach abroad, everything is already it's already fine. Everything is already okay. Now, but this is the reality. This is just to educate the international students that are still planning to apply, maybe in some years to come. So, if you ever stumble on this video, I think it might actually, or it can actually help you. So, this is not really important to those who have gotten their visas already, because of course they'll be coming already and nothing can actually change. Now, as an international student, let me talk about Belgium. I'm not going to generalize. I'm not going to talk about Europe, America, or I'm going to talk about how it works in Belgium, because I can see a lot of international students are coming to Belgium because, as it stands, Belgium should be one of the best countries in Europe now for international students. Now, when you come to Belgium as an international student, what keeps you in Belgium is the fact that you came here or that you travel to study, meaning your residence permit shows that you are a student. So you live like a student, you do everything like a student. Now, as an international student, whether you come for a master's program or you come for a bachelor's program, they give you a 1 year residence permit, meaning every year when you go to the commune or to the city hall to renew your residence permit, they give you 1 year. Even if your program is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, they give you 1 year residence permit. Why? Because every year they need to go through your file to be sure that that there's progress, that there's academic progress. Because if you come for studies and you are not progressing, then there's no reason keeping you in the country. So they give you a 1 year residence card to track your that's your academic progress. And recently, this is 2026, I'm making this video in the month of June. The Belgian government just released a statement for international students that they are going to become more strict on that's international students academic progress check. So once you come here just as a student, just know it will be very difficult for you to remain here if you are not studying or if you are not doing well in school. They have that's academic requirements that you need to meet up. If you don't meet up, then they can give you, that's at a particular point, they're simply going to give you a period of time that you have to leave the country if you don't have a justification for why your academic results are not actually pleasing to them. Now, one of these is if you come for a master's program, let's say a 1 year master's program, which is normally 60 credits, then you have maximum 2 years to finish the program, meaning you have four attempts. After 4 attempts, the school is not even going to give you admission again. Meaning, if you come the first year, let's say you have I'm just giving an example, let's say you have 4 courses. If you write the first, that's if you write the exam the first time and fail, you go for receipt. If you fail in the receipt, then the next academic year you can still retake that's that particular course. If you fail again, if you fail during the normal session and fail again during the receipt session, that means you're already in trouble. You're already in trouble, and that meaning you have used that's 4 attempts and you are not still able to get it. So it's already a problem. So if you're an international student and you are coming to Belgium, don't just know that you need to study. You need to actually study. Now, what some people usually do is that's they come for a program, then after 1 year they switch to another program that was actually acceptable, but following the updates in the laws and regulations governing international students here, that is no longer going to be acceptable. Meaning, if you come for a master's program, you need to finish that master's program before you take another one. You cannot just start a master's program, leave it halfway, then you get another one. Another very important thing that a lot of international students do not understand or have no idea, maybe they just see, they just hear, but they don't actually know how it works, is that they have credit system, the same like maybe in most of our educational systems back home, where they say one course is 3 credits, 4 credits, 5 credits. So in Belgium, for international students, they have that's credit systems. When you come to the country, that's when you come to the country for, let me say, for a master's program, they give you 140 credits. That's, they just give you a total of 140 credits. That's why when you are registering in school, they look at your account balance, that's your learning account balance, so they can tell you you have 140 credits in your account. So when you take a master's program, let's say you take a 2 years master's, which is 120 credits. Now the first year, which is 60 credits, they are going to deduct the 60 credits from the 140. That's from the 140 that you had. So if they deduct 60 from the 140, you are going to be left with 80 credits. Now the second year, they are still going to deduct 60 again, so you are going to be left with 20. Now when you finish your master's program, that is like when you finish the program completely, that's, they are going to collect all the credits, or let me say they are going to give you additional 60 credits, that's to add to the 140 that you had at the start of the that's of your master's program. So that's going to give you a total of 200. So in total you have 200. Now from the 200, they are going to deduct their 140 credits that they gave you at the start of the program. That they gave you at the start of the program. So you are going to be left with 60. From this 60 credit balance, if within the that's the course of the program, you failed a course in the normal session and in the receipt, meaning in a year you failed a course in the normal session and in the receipt, that means you have lost the credits for that particular course. So they're going to deduct it from your account. Meaning, let's say for instance you have a course, let's just say strategic innovation, let's say 6 credits. You failed the first year in the first semester and in the receipt, that means you have lost the 6 credits. So they're going to deduct the 6 credits from the 60. That it repeats for all the other programs. Now this applies to universities in Flanders, like University of Hasselt and other universities that are in the region of that's in the Flanders section, that's the Dutch speaking, but this is for mostly for people coming to study in that area, especially the University of Hasselt. Now if you finish and you want to reapply, maybe you want to take another master's program in that university, then they'll look at your that's your credit balance, your account credit balance. If you have less than 54 credits, it's going to be difficult for that university to give you admission, or in most cases they are not going to give you admission, because you need to have at least 54 credits before you can actually get admission into the university. So you can still come here, study, succeed, and at the end of the day you lost some credits. So maybe you start facing difficulties getting admission to study in those universities, and at the end of the day you may be forced to move to maybe universities in Wallonia, because in Wallonia their own evaluation and their own system is different from from the one in Flanders. These are some basic things that most international students do not actually understand. So at times when they come, they just make decisions. Like for instance, somebody will just come the first year, the person decides to take a master's program, which is normally a 1 year master. The person decides to use 2 years. So once you decide to use to do it for 2 years, and you register, let's say for your dissertation, let's say maybe your dissertation is 18 credits, you register the first year and you decide to defend the thesis the second year, meaning that first year you have lost 18 credits already, because they are just going to assume that you did not take the course in the normal session and in the receipt intake, sorry. So you have lost all the credits. So it's very, very important to understand these things. So this is simply explaining what an international student is supposed to have in mind before coming to study. Now when you finish studying, you have that's if you say you don't want to go to school again, they give you 1 year, that's a search year, where you can actually apply for jobs. If you get the job in a company that can actually give you the residence to stay, then it's fine. If after the search year you don't get any job, then you have to actually go back to your country or explore other options. So it's not like once you get a student visa you just come here and you're already free to live here how you want. Any No, it's not like that. As a student you have to always succeed. They have to always that's about check your academic progress. If you're not progressing academically, then you cannot continue living here. So these are some of the things I just want to clarify, because I know a lot of people that have been that's victims of this because of lack of information.